We had not even thought about fostering a foster child. It wasn't even on our mind. Our last child was going to be graduating in another year or so, and then we were going to be child-free. But my niece and Michael's niece saw on Facebook, I guess, a video of Zayden, and she sent it to us and said, "Aunt Dawn, you've got to take this little boy in your home." And I watched the video and sent it to Michael, and he also said, "Well, call and see what happens." And so we did, and did never think that anything would happen with it. And then just out of the blue, they called us and asked us to come up and see him, and we brought him home a couple days later for a visit. When he was here visiting, he claimed our house as his house and just kept saying, "This is Zayden's house, Zayden's house." He just became part of our family, and he just became part of us, and we just couldn't turn him away. When he first came, he did not use utensils. He was not potty trained. He
didn't speak anything other than one-word sentences.
You know, when he came here, they had him working on a kindergarten level. They said that he just rolled around on the floor. They said that he hit and bit, and he would spit at you. He was very picky about what he ate, still is to an extent, but had all kinds of, behaviors that a lot of them typical for a child with autism. He has just thrived.
We staff all the children that come through child welfare that have any type of developmental disabilities. The really neat thing that we have put in place is that the case managers with DDS will work with that home and work with the child welfare specialist to make sure that we're getting all the services set up that we need to in that home. So if they're needing any kind of occupational therapy, if they're needing speech therapy, if they're needing some assistance with the IEP in the school system, we'll work together to ensure that we're getting those services set up for the family. Lots of times, like in Zayden's case, where he is what people dub nonverbal. Really, we talk about how all children communicate. And once you find out what's really important to a child, you can motivate that child and you can help that child thrive in their environment.
Zayden loves anything that has to do with motors and wants to be a mechanic, wants to be a race car driver. So
We're gonna rebuild a engine for a go-kart, and then we're gonna eventually build a go-kart.
Awesome. You can rebuild it, the engine for a go-kart. You need to rebuild the old engine, and you don't need the old parts. You rebuild the old parts from the engine. That's 4-stroke old. You need a new one. That's 2-stroke.
2-stroke engine.
A new one for a go-kart. And then you get go-kart parts and build it.
You are, aren't you?
Watch Zayden build it with Zayden's tools.
Children with developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities, co-occurring mental health, any of those issues, they're still children. They're still wanting to play on the playground. They still want to go to the zoo. They still want to eat mac and cheese and not green beans. I mean, they want to do all the same things that all of the kids that we encounter with every day want to do.
He's just like any other kid. We go to school all day. He goes to regular classes. And in fact, he insists on being in a regular classroom with everybody else.
The other community has been real supportive of him. Even people get out walking, riding bikes down the street, especially during the summer when it's nicer. They all know him and they wave and talk to him, and he runs off out into the road to talk to them and try to climb on their bikes with them. And he's got a bunch of friends here. We go into local cafes and they already know Zayden wants chicken strips and Doritos. That's what he wants.
When you're the parent and you're seeing what they're really made of, and you're seeing past all the stuff that's written down on paper, those kids respond. And the real factor in all of that is that you will be blessed twice as much by one of these children than anything that you could do for them. And we really just try to let foster parents change a little bit of what they're seeing on paper and just look at the child and get to know them for who they are.
You just can't be scared because of a label. And that's all that special needs is it's a label that has been put on them because that, you know, they do have something that they need a little bit more care. You can't let that stop you. You can't let that scare you. All they need is someone to give them some stability. They need somebody that can give them some love, and they need that comfort and to know that, you know, that they're going to be okay. They're going to be safe. It's a matter of finding your way in, and anybody can do that.